my kidneys had failed, not even just failing, that they were in a situation that I had to go on dialysis right away. So this is back in the fall of 22. I was real sick for a little while, and I was seeing some doctors about it. It was just kind of slow played, nothing seemed to be getting resolved. And I put on probably about 60 pounds because I was retaining all this fluid. And finally my wife had had enough. Of course, they ran a series of tests, and obviously something was wrong, and they were operating at about 8%. Physically, it was challenging to a degree, certainly, because there were some other things that were going on with my body because of the kidney. It was just hard to go. I mean, you're always tired, but more than that was just the mental part. I didn't know, how long is this going to last? Am I going to get a kidney? How long can I be on dialysis? And I wanted to do my job.
He coaches over half the team. Not having him around was a pretty big void. And he sets a very high bar. I mean, the expectation is pretty high, and I think our pitchers know that going in. It was tough. You're afraid for him. You're a little scared for him. He got himself on a donor list, was looking for a donor, and wasn't having a whole lot of success with that. Even then, you could still see his health continue to deteriorate. It was not easy to watch, for sure.
They told me it would probably be 3 to 5 years before I would get a kidney. If I could have a live donor, that would be better. And for the longest time, I really didn't want to tell anybody what was going on with what I was dealing with. I just wanted to do my job. I wanted to, be a husband, a father, and keep doing what I was doing. And I don't know that it was anybody's business there for the longest time. Ultimately, it got out. It was really humbling was a number of people started to come forward with maybe to go through the donor process.
His wife, Melissa, came forward. Just an incredible act of service, I guess, on her part.
I've never won the lottery, but it kind of feels like that. She called me crying. She was just so happy, and I never imagined it would work. I think, had resigned myself to the fact that's not how I'm going to get a kidney. I guess I didn't want to maybe get my hopes up that that was going to work out, but yeah, when she called me, got the news, it was just life-changing. I feel like a walking miracle. I got a second chance at life.
Here's the payoff. That's strike 3 called on the outer third.
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty tough on the team, but we just rallied around each other and played for each other and played for him. He's a warrior. He is for sure a warrior. Nothing can stand in his way. If you tell him no, he'll fight you on it. He just got right in, got back to what he was always doing the past few years, every year he's been here, so we couldn't be more excited to have him back.
It almost felt like the first day ever. Just hadn't been here for 4 or 5 weeks, and I was surprised at the butterflies that I had. It's hard to explain what that support means. As a coach, part of the reason you do it is you want to be there to see them have success, to see them grow on the field and off. And when you're in a situation where you need some help and you need some support, to see it come back from the guys you're there for, it's the best. I don't know how to tell them thank you other than, every day be there for those guys and try to give back as much as I can.
Blew it past him and bangs his hand on his chest.
Over the past year plus, I've had a different appreciation for and like to think that's something I'm much more patient with, an understanding of people, what they might be going through that you don't realize. Caring for somebody you don't know or helping them out is I think a little bit more of how you should live.
Let's go, boys.